show here.
Oh yeah.
Joel and Blake's discussion, wrestling.
Joel and Blake's getting interrupted by a fucking text message.
Intense wrestling.
It calls me boss. That is very important.
Intense wrestling conversation.
Wrestling nerd rage.
Right.
Wrestling nerd rage.
Wrestling nerd rage.
I like it. Alright, so we're discussing the WWE Championship belt.
The design of the WWE Championship belt.
That belt is fucking horrible.
To which I think the belt is very modern and is very appealing.
It's fucking ghetto, man. It should be something that they wrestle for in the projects.
Well, I mean, when it first came out, it was John Cena, and John Cena was very ghetto.
Was?
Was.
Is?
No.
Always will be.
No. John Cena has become very classy-ish over the years. Compared to coming out with a lock on your neck and rapping about how ghetto someone's grandmother is, to going saluting the troops and I appreciate what you do and Risebug hate. Yeah. You notice the Black Power?
Great for the 12-year-olds.
Hate.
Are you kidding me, dude?
Dude, that's what's up. Compared to that, to CM Punk, do you think CM Punk's a good role model? That attitude that he shows and the way that he presents
I don't
himself.
think he's a good role model, period. I think that Triple H fucking nailed it right on the head calling him a Waffle House cook. I mean, that's what he looks like.
I mean, back before he got with Paul Heyman and had this attitude, this respect me shit, I personally loved him. He was straight edge, he was fighting with, Jericho and the whole drunken situation.
Jericho's another one. I can't stand Jericho.
I love Jericho.
You're a fucking
Too bad we won't see him ever again.
That was about as redneck as ever again. Jericho, I've always hated Jericho. Always. Even from when he was in ECW and he was the Lionheart. God. What a fucking...
Nah, I love Jericho to death, but I love CM Punk when he started talking about his light bright jacket.
You might as well call him a fucking craftsman because he's a goddamn tool. I want to get back into the discussion of championship belts. Out of every championship belt you've ever seen, which one was your favorite belt?
My favorite belt, honestly, is the United States Championship.
The current one, or you're talking the WCW version? Or?
No, the current United States Championship belt. I love. I don't know why. I hate the person who fucking has it, but I love the belt itself.
See, I have to go back to old school. I gotta go with the NWA Television Championship. That belt was just sexy from end to end.
That was back when the dinosaurs were in there.
Dude, man. No. There was only one person that held that title with class. And that was Tully Blanchard when he was with the Four Horsemen.
Well, we're talking original Four Horsemen.
Original Four Horsemen. That's when NWA Wrestling was doing World Championship Wrestling. That was the name of the show. It wasn't the company.
Right.
World Championship Wrestling on TBS at 8:05 p.m. And Tully Blanchard carried that belt with style. And people didn't like it because it looked different. What I loved about it is that it looked different. It was a silver belt. The plates on it were silver.
Right.
The paint on it was red. It was like a dark red, almost like these couches.
Right.
And the strap itself was a red leather belt.
So,
love that belt.
With that being said, you don't like the WWE Championship belt based off of what? I mean, it's different than any other belt that you see.
Because I truly feel that championship belts should have some class to them. They should have class to them.
So should hookers, but they don't.
No. They're two totally different subjects. A championship belt should have class. It should have tradition behind it. That's why my favorite... you know what? I changed my mind. I'm taking back my vote on the favorite belt. My favorite belt of all time is for many reasons, is the NWA World Heavyweight Championship belt. The 15 pounds of gold. That belt...
15 pounds of gold?
15 pounds of gold. That's what it's called. That's the name they gave it.
Right.
That, to me, is probably the best belt out there to this day. You know why? Because that belt has, I think, only changed... I could be wrong. I don't know the complete history.
Don't quote him.
But it's only been changed a handful of times. But when it's been changed, it hasn't been changed dramatically.
Right.
Like they changed the strap on it or things like that, okay? But that belt, because it hasn't changed, and all these people throughout fucking history have held that belt. Harley Race, Ric Flair, you know, all the greats have held that belt. That gives that belt meaning. This fucking spinner shit, that just everything that the WWE Championship has ever had behind it, you know, names like Hulk Hogan, Randy Savage, names like that means dick because they changed it to make it look like a piece of shit.
Okay, so if they were to change it, what would you do to it? What would you do to that championship belt?
I wouldn't. What would I do with that belt? Do you have a trash can around? Because I'd fucking pull an Alundra Blaze on it and drop it in a fucking trash can. You know, I think they need to go back to the design. It's old school.
Right.
But I think they need to go back to the design that Hulk Hogan had in the early 80s.
Where you sprayed NWO over it?
No, that was Ric Flair's belt.
Oh, okay.
That was the the WWE World Heavyweight title.
Yes.
The one that Big Show has now.
Right.
I'm talking about, this belt was the WWF Championship belt. It was the one that Hulk Hogan had for 5 or 6 years before they changed it to the Eagle Wing belt.
Right. Yeah, I remember that.
I liked that belt. That was a nice, classy belt. The Eagle Wing belt was a classy belt.
Well,
the one round one that they had, the Triple H and the Rock carried, I thought that was an ugly piece of shit.
Yeah, I didn't like that either. Honestly, it reminds me a lot of the Tag Team Champions belt. Current Tag Team Champions belt. Because the rounded shape, the bronze, I mean, it's not worth a shit to me, honestly.
See,
We have
the belts behind the camera, so that's what I'm controlling right now. The World Heavyweight Championship. What I like and what I don't like about it. What I don't like, we'll start with what I like about it.
Alright.
It's old school. Again, it's classy as fuck.
Okay.
What I don't like about it is it's not the original strap. The original strap, I heard rumors they gave it back to Ric Flair. They wanted it because they had the brown strap, the actual leather strap and everything. And this one's not the original. It looks almost identical, but if you notice at the very top of it, it has the WWE logo.
Right.
So, but yeah.
And what I don't like about it, honestly, to me, it looks too busy. There's too much shit going on there. There's too much design. There's too much. If they just had it to where it said World Heavyweight Champion, just boom, and had what they have there, just kind of made it blank, but maybe gave it a nice little flair on the side, but nothing in the middle that's a design like that. I honestly think that that'd be nice.
But when you see that belt, now on Big Show, it doesn't look like anything. It looks like a tinker toy.
Right.
But when you see it on someone else, someone of normal size,
Sheamus.
that thing is so huge.
It is.
That it just says, I am the champion.
Right. Now, here's a question for you. When did the WWE Championship surpass the World Heavyweight Championship as the most prized possession?
This is where my opinion really, you don't want to go here. Just because I hate the brand divisions shit, the SmackDown, the Raw. Really? Really? Really?
Work email.
Oh, well, you're not at work.
Oh no, that one was Jess. Hi Jess.
Okay.
Anywhere.
I hate that because you got the WWE Champion on Raw, you got the World Heavyweight Champion on SmackDown, and they're both equals. But if you go by the history of the title belts, the WWE Championship has more history than the World Heavyweight Championship because if you look at the record history as far as WWE owns it now, they took out half the people that WCW had as their world champion.
Right.
So
The thing that kills me, though, is when I see World Heavyweight Champion. That, to me, means I am better than any motherfucker in the world, hands down, the best.
for that moment.
Right. WWE Championship, to me, means I'm better than anybody except for the World Heavyweight Champion inside of the WWE.
But here's the thing: you can't claim that you're a world heavyweight champion just because there's different companies. Now, if they wanted a true world heavyweight champion, then they need to take the world heavyweight champion from TNA, the world heavyweight champion from Ring of Honor, the world heavyweight champion from WWE, the three big names as of right now.
Combine them all
Throw
together.
them into a match. Whoever wins, undisputed world heavyweight champion.
Honestly,
Will never happen. We know this, but that's the only way to do it.
I think that would bring a lot of, because you just said Ring of Honor. I had no clue about that. No clue whatsoever.
You have no idea about Ring of Honor?
Not a damn clue.
Wow, and he calls himself a wrestling fan.
I am. I am a mainstream wrestling fan. We'll go with that. There's Hip Kid over here that, is into all this other stuff. I didn't know that Spirit Squad was from Ohio Valley Wrestling either, which Dolph Ziggler was a part of. I'd like to bring that out. Probably going to tout that later.
Tout?
Oh, I'm going to tout it like a motherfucker.
Oh my God.
I'm going to make sure Dolph
Are
Ziggler
you a
knows.
touter?
No, I'm not a touter. I'm going to get into it, though. I'm going to make sure Dolph Ziggler knows where his roots are. Mr. Showoff from
I think he knows. He
Spirit
was there.
Fingers. Yeah.
He was there.
Spirit Fingers to Mr. Showoff.
Alright, I want to talk about the ECW Heavyweight Championship. The original ECW Championship. Not that silver phoenix looking thing that WWE brought in.
Right.
The one that looked like it was bleeding. That's what I loved about ECW. This ECW shit from WWE was nothing compared to the original ECW. Let me tell you how unpopular ECW was when I first started watching it, okay?
Alright.
I had cable, all the channels, all that shit. But I could not watch ECW wrestling through my cable box, my digital cable box. I had to unscrew the cable from the back of my cable box and plug it directly into my TV where you get the basic cable.
Right.
And then you could watch it. And every Saturday night at 1 a.m., I'd have to do that so I could watch ECW for an hour. But that was when ECW was ECW, and they went in there and they kicked each other's ass, and the referee's over in the corner eating a sandwich because all he's there for is to count to 3.
Right.
That's the way wrestling should be. Just saying. That's PG bullshit.
Right.
I hope that they change it back to whatever it was before, because I don't think it even had a rating before. Now it's PG-13. But since Linda lost her election again, I hope they change that shit back.
Right, but I wonder if they're starting to become more family-oriented.
Well, and that's why true wrestling fans enjoy TNA wrestling. People sit there and run their mouth all day long about how they hate TNA, how it sucks. It may not be as big of a brand, no. But if you're a true wrestling fan, you could sit there and watch 2 hours of TNA Impact Wrestling, and you will be enjoyed for 2 hours. You will enjoy it for 2 hours straight.
Now, I mean, I like some of the storylines that they've got going on in WWE right now. I love Uncontrollably Team Hell No, the little back and forth that I got going with that. But, I mean, there's not much else that I really love. I'm starting to get sick of Vicky Guerrero. I need to boot her ass, send her on packing.
You know what? That's where I'm heartfelt. Vince gave her a job, made sure her kids were taken care of when her husband died.
Right.
I got it, and you know what? She does her part well. They made her a heel, and everybody hates her. Where has she gone wrong? She's done her job. For someone who had no wrestling experience whatsoever, she's done her job.
Everybody hates her to an extreme. Like, it's gone past I hate you. It's gone to the point where I want to give you a fucking Ricola and hope to God your voice goes back to normal. Like,
They
that
could have
shit's
given
just
her a job in
ridiculous.
housekeeping.
Right.
Oh,
That's
that's
fucked up.
rude.
You can't sit there and tell me every time she comes out and says, "Excuse me, excuse me." If I was there, I would throw a pie in her face.
She's doing
I
her
would
job.
sit there and hand her a vacuum and a duster and say, "Your job is back there."
She's doing her job.
She's doing her job, but at the same time, I'm pretty sure McMahon could have been like, hey, you've never really been in the limelight, so let me go ahead and give you a job as an administrator, as something, as a talent scout. You know, you watched your husband do it for years. I'm pretty sure you know what talent is.
You can't put her in a job like a talent scout. She was a homemaker for how many years? She watched her husband wrestle, all that shit. She was not involved in the business at all. I mean, she married into the business.
Right.
Her husband was a wrestler. Her nephews and uncles were all wrestlers on her husband's side. All that. She came into the business, married into it. You can't say that.
Well, and then remarried into it.
Yeah, if you want to call it that. Anywho, let's talk about... that's one we were talking about, the European Championship.
Yeah, where the fuck that go to?
They got rid of it. Just because, I don't know why.
I mean, the last person I remember holding it was Regal.
Yeah.
I remember Regal had it when he was wrestling.
The first person to ever hold it was the British Bulldog.
Right. Well, obviously.
Yeah. Because if someone else would have won it in Europe, because that's where he got crowned champion. The Internet Championship. Now,
oh my God.
we're looking at WWE 13 on my TV behind the camera, and we're looking at the title belts, and they have it as the WWE Internet Championship.
And if that's the case, they need to hold internet matches for it. I honestly believe that that would be a good outlet, because Internet Championship, that's awesome. YouTube is a giant platform that they can just jump off with, you know, internet.
In case you missed it, they are there.
No, I understand that they are there, but they're not holding matches on... I mean, they have some matches, some prelim matches that they do before, stuff like that. That's fine and dandy. But if they want to make an official title... I mean, you've got a lot of young bloods in there that don't have a title. But they have the potential to be good. And that would be a good championship to start off with. That's the Puppy Championship.
The Puppy Championship.
There you go. I would equate that to Divas Championship.
Are you kidding me?
I'm dead serious.
Oh my God. Well, I think the
Sorry,
Internet...
Zach.
I think the Internet Championship... I don't think they should make it an actual title. Just because if they did, then that just blows everything out of the water from before. You go old school again, the $1 Million Championship. Yeah, see? That shows the difference between me and you right there.
Yeah, that does.
The $1 Million Championship. You need to read your history books. Go on YouTube and watch this shit.
Who thinks that they actually make history books? What the hell? It's all online now.
But the thing is, for those of you who are too young to fucking know what it is, Ted DiBiase was the $1 Million Man, and him and Hulk Hogan had this huge rivalry back in the 90s, early 90s, and he could never win the World Heavyweight Championship. So his whole motto was, you know, money buys everything. So he made himself a championship belt. And it was, I don't know if it was all real, but according to the internet sources,
Al Gore.
the $1 Million Championships cost actually something like $100,000 to make. And it was all metal. It was supposed to be gold.
Right.
And it was all dollar signs. The entire belt was dollar signs.
Oh, I remember that. That championship pissed me off because it looked like the dumbest fucking thing in the world.
But that's the whole thing. If they didn't make that an actual title, because it wasn't an actual title, it wasn't sanctioned by the WWE, then they shouldn't sanction the Internet Championship for the same reason.
Well, now hold on.
Because it was a title that Zack Ryder made.
Right.
Same principle.
I understand that it's the title that Zack Ryder made, but it's a different outlet. As like they have the WWE Championship for the TV, they should have the Internet Championship for their internet shit.
Should they just have a television championship and throw the rest away?
Well, fuck not.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
No, I don't think that they should just have a television championship, but it's a different platform that they have. And I think that they should... Okay, so let's switch this. Instead of being like, here, we gotta wrestle for it. The Internet Championship belt should go to whoever has the most views in the WWE.
Are you fucking kidding me?
I'm dead serious. Make it a competition. You make it a competition, see who can come up with the best stuff, it gets more entertaining. There's more of a storyline to it.
Well, then Zack Ryder gets it because he's had his show for over a year and a half now, and each episode got something like 400,000 views. So some motherfuckers got some catching up to do.
I'm just saying, Santino Marella, I would watch that motherfucker all day long. He's hilarious as shit. Him and his Cobra. Yeah, that's right, the Cobra.
Son of my gun. Alright. Divas Championship. I'll tell you why I hate this belt. You want to know why I hate it?
Why?
Because it's not the women's championship.
You want to know why I hate it? Because it's the most worthless championship out there. It's pointless. For the pure and simple fact that all the divas are tits and ass. They are tits and ass. They are not the divas that we used to have in the Attitude Era.
Well, they weren't divas in the first place.
Right.
But, yeah, I agree. If you look at the roster of divas in the WWE, 90% of them are ex-fitness models or whatever.
Right.
I agree with that. But that's what I liked about Karma coming into WWE.
Just
Awesome Kong.
people.
You got this behemoth bitch who just come down to the ring and whooped ass. And that gave me hope for the women's division.
Well, and then who the hell is this big-ass bitch that...
Well, you also had Tammy in there.
Right, Tammy.
Oh, shit.
Oh, my God.
Tamina?
Tamina. Who the fuck is that? She looks like a man. Like, I thought Beth Phoenix looked like a man. No,
It
this bitch
was
looks
like
a man.
China.
I'm sorry, I'm talking about
Shut up.
Tammy Mayer.
Shut up. Well, shut up.
Anyhow.
Right.
Don't you just love
It's
that?
not the women's championship.
It's too frou-frou.
It's
Like,
the women's championship. Don't get me wrong. I hated the women's championship design because it was ugly. It should have been a hardcore title.
Now, honestly, if there was a match where the women went out and they just whooped each other's ass, like legit whoop, not spank, like legit whooped each other's ass, I would watch it. But I DVR the shit, and every time it goes up to a Divas match, fast forward through it, because I know it's going to be a bunch of bullshit. It's pointless. Sorry, pointless.
Nah.
That being said, AJ, I'll give you my number. We'll talk. Fuck John Cena. Pretty sure I can out wrestle that man. You and me.
Dude,
That's what's up.
my 14-year-old go out and wrestle him.
I...
Him and his 3 moves of doom.
Shoulder tackle, shoulder tackle.
Jesus Christ.
I mean, he even said it himself. He's like, what, I got like 3 moves?
Right.
Tag Team Championship.
I am so glad that they unified the tag team titles. Just because having 2 sets of tag team champions was fucking stupid.
Yep.
The tag team divisions were not that big as far as teams total. It's not like you had 20 teams in each roster.
Right.
You had 2 teams, 3 teams in each roster, period. Made it boring as fuck.
I love the fact that the tag team division has took off. Like, compared to what it used to be where they had no teams, to where they started throwing teams together, like Cobra, fucking Team Scholar Road, or Team Road Scholars. Granted, I hate them, but they make it interesting. Fucking Kofi Kingston and R-Truth, that was a good team, but the current tag team champions, you know, I hated Daniel Bryan when he first came onto the scene. Fucking hated him. I'm sure everyone else did too. But now,
I didn't.
I love his ass to death.
Because you look like him.
Hey, Goatface 101.
Yeah, I just... You know what, I'm going to go back here. We're going to look at the superstars. Let's discuss these people. Actually, before we do that, let's discuss... No.
Oh, okay.
No. Let's discuss who your favorite wrestler of all times, living, dead, doesn't matter what company, who's your favorite... let's go top 2.
Top 2 favorite wrestlers of
Ever.
all time. Honestly,
I'll give you top 3.
top 3.
Top 3.
Okay, so at number 1...
Start at 3.
Start at 3. Okay, I'll start at 3. My number 3 is going to have to be Ric Flair.
Okay.
I love Ric Flair. I love the Dirty Tactics.
Woo!
Woo! It was really entertaining. My number 2... My number 2, and I feel bad saying this because for the longest time he was my number
Well,
1.
let's discuss Ric Flair for a second.
Okay.
What I liked about Ric Flair was because he was the NWA World Champion forever.
Yep.
And you have to reading.
Who does that? Anymore?
Watching the documentaries and everything about his title reign, that man worked. He traveled from area to area to wrestle in these different NWA branches and defend his world title, because there was only one world title in all these divisions of NWA.
Right.
So he would go there to help boost up these people's profits and shit like that. But he put his belt on the line every fucking night.
Right. And that's the thing a lot of people don't understand. They look at Ric Flair and they see like he's starting to sag and get overweight and shit like that.
Because he's old.
He's old, but he's gotten the shit kicked out of him. You can only take so much abuse before your body starts to deteriorate.
You know, I'm surprised his forehead doesn't look like Dusty Rhodes' forehead.
Right.
Because his forehead looks like a fucking map from
all the cuts. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Alright, so that being said, my number 2 all-time favorite was number 1 for the longest time. Recently got toppled, though. Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Oh, God.
How
I hated him.
How the fuck did you hate Stone Cold Steve Austin?
Let me tell you how I hated him. Okay?
What?
Exactly. He was... Actually, Stone Cold Steve Austin is proof that they can push anybody and make him into a fucking celebrity.
Dude, he put work in. Stone Cold Steve Austin put work in.
He put work in WCW as the Awesome Blondes, or whatever the fuck they were called, him and Brian Pillman.
Right.
And then in ECW, when he was, Stunning Steve Austin. No, that was WCW as well, Stunning Steve Austin.
Yeah.
And then in ECW, I believe he was Superstar Steve Austin. And he came out to, his music was Jesus Christ Superstar. And then WWE, he was the Ringmaster.
Yeah, I know that.
Came out with $1 Million Man, and he had the $1 Million Championship belt.
Yeah.
And then he became Stone Cold.
That is the epitome. That's okay. Stone Cold Steve Austin, when he became Stone Cold Steve Austin, to me is like when the Undertaker became the American Badass for that short period of time. I'll be honest with you, I liked the American Badass Undertaker 10 times better than the original Undertaker.
That just goes to show our differences again. Just because the American Badass Undertaker, a true wrestling fan never liked him.
I'm just saying. He was
How are you going to be a dead man, come back to life, and now you're dead man again?
Yeah. Zombie. Anyhow, Stone Cold Steve Austin at number 2. Okay. Number 1. Who should be the world heavyweight champion at this current point in time, but has gotten dicked not once, but twice. Honestly, I believe Sheamus. Sheamus is my number 1 pick.
All-time wrestler.
All-time, I shit you not, all-time wrestler.
What is the world coming to?
The world's coming to a bunch of gingers. That's exactly what it's coming to. Because watching that ginger snap is fucking amazing. I'll tell you what. Just the amount of fights. He's a brawler. He's brutal. He's all out, doesn't stop. He's just amazing. He's fan-oriented. Like, you go to shows and he's there signing stuff even after he's got the shit kicked out of him by God knows who. All of his fights are brutal. There's never really any blowout fights. He gives the fans a show. I mean, how can you not like Sheamus?
Okay.
Get your arse on here.
Your arse?
Yeah.
I'm gonna kick your big arse.
I kick your teeth down your throat. Fella.
From all the bullshit from inside. So